come to your damn house, put our foot on your throat, and snatch out your damn heart. And that's what we are about to do tomorrow. We are going to snatch out their heart.
Here's the calmer version of that. We'll come to your house, your damn house, put our foot on your throat, and snatch out your damn heart. And that's what we're about to do. That was calm. Former Cane Michael Irvin, pumped? Just say the least. College football is back. Of course he's pumped. Gators and Canes clashing in Orlando to kick off the campaign. Big story coming in was a bit of a surprise. New Miami head coach Manny Diaz naming redshirt freshman Jarren Williams, not Ohio State transfer Tate Martell, as the team's starting quarterback. Manny's message, you got to earn the job. Well, Florida looking to send a message of its own, trying to tear up Jarren Williams in his first career start. Chomp, chomp. Let's go down to Orlando, where it's Miami and 8th-ranked Florida kicking the season off. Dan Mullen entering his second year as head coach. Florida has its highest preseason ranking since Urban Meyer's season in Gainesville in 2010. On the other sideline, Manny Diaz beginning his reign as Miami's head coach. The redshirt freshman, Jarren Williams, making his first career start. We pick it up early fourth quarter. Miami down 17-13. DJ Dallas gets the snap out of the Wildcat, sheds multiple arm tackles, and goes 50 yards for the touchdown. Miami up 20-17 after the extra point. 12 carries, 107 yards, and that TD for DJ Dallas on the ones and twos. Later in the fourth, still 20-17. Miami, first and goal from the 3-yard line for the Gators. Felipe Franks on the doorstep. Up the middle, QB keeper. Chomp, chomp, in for 6. Florida up 24-20. Franks, 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. However, he made some mistakes in this game. Next Florida possession, 4:30 to go. Electing to pass despite their lead, and Franks throws a pick right to Romeo Finley, who takes it back to Florida's 25-yard line. 4th takeaway for Miami's defense. Won the turnover battle 4-1. Franks on the ground. Manny Diaz is pumped. Here we go. Here's a comeback. Ensuing Miami possession. 20 seconds left, 4th and 12. Jarren Williams bobbles the snap, and he just has to throw it away. Miami turns it over. Florida in victory formation, and Florida wins it 24-20, improving to 22-0 in season openers when ranked inside the AP preseason top 10. While Florida lost the turnover battle, they had a huge edge in sacks with 10 compared to 1 for Miami. Jarren Williams in his first career start, 19-30, 214 yards, and a touchdown. Tate Martell, 1 carry, -1 yard. So Florida wins it, but it's Miami +7. Hope you had that if you were wagering on this game, and the under cashes at 46.5, just barely. We now welcome in CBS Sports college football analyst Barrett Sallee, who picked this game correctly. Good for you, Barrett. I like it. What are your takeaways from this wild and wacky game there in O-Town?
That this is one of the sloppiest football games I think I've ever seen. Neither offensive line wanted to block for either quarterback, and in the end, the team that was less sloppy, the team that made one play, ended up winning, and that was due to the fact that Felipe Franks finally hit one of his open receivers, Josh Hammond, 66 yards in the fourth quarter. That led to his 1 rushing touchdown, which proved to be the game-winning touchdown. And that's all it took. It was one play. One guy needed to come up and make a big play. It was Felipe Franks, and after what we saw for the first 3+ quarters, quite honestly, I was surprised that it was him.
All right, so what are your impressions of Jarren Williams in his first career start for Miami?
The best offensive player on the field, bar none. I think he was the best offensive player on the field, and it's unfortunate for him that nobody would block for him, because that dude has star written all over him. To be under pressure the way he did, like you said, 10 sacks, and there were probably a few more that he escaped from. Didn't throw a pick. Yeah, he was a little careless at times with the ball, but at some point you got to let that pressure get to you, and he did. The way he handled that storm and still tried and still moved that offense to a point where they had a chance to win, you couldn't say anything more about how solid he was in his first career start. It was in a loss, I get that, but Jarren Williams, I think he proved tonight why he won that starting quarterback job over Tate Martell and N'Kosi Perry. And if he gets an offensive line, if somebody can block for him, look out. He's going to be a star.
Up and down day from Felipe Franks, as you noted. What did you see from him in this game?
Man, it was like a roller coaster in Disney World, wasn't it? With Felipe Franks all over the place. 2 picks, he had the fumble, and then I think the more egregious mistakes, one of his interceptions in the second half, he either overthrew or underthrew a receiver, but both of them were wide open. So, yeah, very erratic for Felipe Franks. I think you saw that maybe he's not the guy you saw down the stretch last year. Maybe he still has some growing up to do. But like I said, in the end, he found Josh Hammond down the sideline. He took it in from 3 yards out. That was really the first design run that they had for him throughout the course of the entire night. So very erratic. If you're Dan Mullen, I think you actually like that because you got away with the win. Then you have the extra bye week next week, and they always say a team improves most between week 1 and week 2, and they've got 2 weeks to address that, and they've got plenty to look at in the film room.
What did you learn about both teams after this game?
That they both have a whole lot of work to do. Both defenses, I think, are solid. I think both defenses can keep these teams in games, but neither are championship worthy. If they block the way they blocked throughout the course of the game, neither is going to have a chance to make it to a conference championship game. And you joke about Florida. I think that offensive line, when you look in the SEC and you have all these defensive fronts looking at this game, all these defensive coordinators in the SEC are salivating to get after Felipe Franks. And on the flip side for Miami, 10 sacks. I mean, what more can you say? Jarren Williams had no chance, and I think he actually played a really solid game. There's not exactly a lot of great quarterback play in the ACC outside of Clemson, South Carolina. So I think if you're an ACC defensive coordinator, you're looking at the Canes saying, wow, they are extremely susceptible.
All right, so based on that, handicap this for us. Who's going to have a better season? Miami in Manny Diaz's first year or Florida in Dan Mullen's second season as head coach?
I know Florida won the game, but I'm still going to say Miami because of that schedule. You look at Miami's schedule the rest of the way, it is relatively easy. You're not going to see a lot of defenses like you saw tonight if you're Jarren Williams and if you're Manny Diaz. But on the flip side, like I said, Florida has some issues blocking. It's got a quarterback that is still relatively erratic, and it's got Auburn as the rotator out of the West. They've got LSU. They've got Georgia. They've got the rest of the SEC. So in the end, if you're talking about pure records, I think Miami might end up with a better record despite the loss tonight.
Good on you as well. Miami +7, also good on you as well. The Braves won 9-5 over the Mets. So I know you're feeling pretty good about that.
World Series.
Oh, there you go.
World Series.
There you go. Braves are going to the World Series, and Miami's going to have a better season. Barrett Sallee does it all, breaking down baseball and breaking down college football here in CBS Sports HQ. Barrett, great work. Thank you.